Greetings, Actives. Welcome to the October Founders Call. It's great to be with all of you. I'm joined here with my partner, CEO David Brown, and we've just been talking about the month of September. We're talking about what's happening in October, and there's some exciting things happening right now in the world of Actives. And let me just start by saying, if you're new to Actives, welcome. David and I do this Founders Call once every month on the 15th of every month, and it's an opportunity for us to kind of share with you some of the highlights that stood out to us from the previous month, and some of the highlights for the current month, and a little bit about where we're going and how we see the month unfolding. So welcome to Actives for all of those of you who are new, and those of you who've been with us for a time, welcome as well. It's always great to have all of you joining us. There's some incredible things happening right now in the US. A moment ago, David, you and I were talking about some of the new growth that's kind of popping up, and I picture a little campfire starting all across the country, and those fires grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And I probably shouldn't use a fire analogy living here in Northern California. That's not politically correct of me to do that, but that's how I visualize the growth of Actives right now across the United States. It's great to see areas starting to really show up, right? And leaders really growing and rank advancing and really starting to leave a footprint all across the country. So anyways, before we get too far into that, David, why don't, hello, welcome to this month's Founders Call. And we'll talk more about that. But let's start by talking about September, because September was a pretty incredible month. It's an incredible month, not only for us at Actives, but for a lot of our distributors. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this baton to you, David, and why don't you kick us off talking a little bit about highlights from September.
Hey, September was awesome. It's one of my favorite months. I love the fall. The leaves are turning. I'll tell you what, despite the drought in the West, the leaves, the autumn foliage in the state of Utah have been incredible. And we've been able to take advantage of it in September and October. My college football teams had a great month of September, so that was good.
Yes.
Everything with that. My college football team was also your college football team, so that's good. We could be united in that. And so September was awesome. I was able to get out and see a few people in places like Seattle and Portland and Spokane, and that was great. And like you said, it really is interesting to see where we're starting to grow. I guess we could use, I don't mind the idea of little skirmish fires around and having this great inferno, but maybe for the sake of political correctness, maybe we'll refer to it more as a big tent. Our tent is being enlarged, and we're putting down stakes in different areas. We had, as far as English speaking goes, we had a small little tent that was being erected in the Phoenix area, and the Albertsons and Cocoa and others down there were building that. Jan and others were doing that. And then by virtue of them reaching out, now we've got Diane Young and Matthew Felton and Phil Collins and others up in the Northwest, along with Jerry Scribner and others who are in the Portland, Tanya Van Dyke and people like that. Now we have Susie Boyd clear on the other side of the country in Virginia. She and Angela and Wayman are starting to tear it up, and we're getting some growth out there. Griselda continues to do well in Southern Texas, and we're building there. I mean, it really is expanding all over the place, and it's exciting. And and the other indicator of that is not just rank advancements. We had some great rank advancements, but other things that we track, for example, participation on our weekly calls, on our monthly active schools and things like that has greatly increased. We just have more people joining us, plugging in and learning from others. And the good news is they're starting to duplicate that by inviting others to join in. We have more and more success stories, whether that be success stories about people's benefits that they've derived from the products, increasing success stories about people, making more money, and how the business product is really paying off for them. Had some wonderful stories of, for example, We have Aaron Kosmitz, who's gotten a stake going down, of a tent up in Michigan, who not only did a great testimonial as far as the benefits of the product to him, but also how the income that he's received from ACTIVZ has allowed him to do things and take advantage of some treatments and things that he's needed in the past to really help him achieve greater health and greater happiness in his life. And so those are wonderful stories. And it just looks like it's not going to do anything but continue. And so far through the month of October, it has.
Right. Yeah, it's exciting to hear that and to really put names to those places as well. Congratulations to all of you, by the way, who are joined us recently within the past few months and are really cranking. I do want to shout out to one of the newer states in terms of activity, David, here in ACTIVZ that's really taken off. And I will say that I'm admittedly a little bit surprised because I lived in this state for 20 years. It's where you live right now. It's where we've headquartered the company. But Utah, my goodness, guys, all of you from Utah, congratulations. When we look at ranks and rank advancements, Utah, our own little state of Utah, there is really, really cranking right now, and it's exciting. So keep up all the great work. It's
led by Orangeville, Utah.
Of all places.
We have which is totally appropriate. That because one of our ACTIVZ colors is orange, and so it seems absolutely appropriate that Orangeville would take off. But obviously, we have the Bells there who recently very quickly hit A8. The Jeffs, who I think hit A7 just this past September, and so they're continuing to grow. The Jukeses, A6s, and they're growing, and they've got others. And Dr. Snow, who's also doing great down in that neck of the woods, and we got some and others who I'm probably forgetting, and I apologize, because obviously I'll tell you the one thing that those who are rank advancing really know is the importance of the team. And they're figuring out that, you can get to a certain point, Ryan, you talk about this all the time. You can get to a certain point just based upon your own efforts and just driving hard and enrolling people and all that kind of stuff. But to really start making the serious money, to really start building a serious business, that means you got to spend time helping others build their own serious businesses and expanding upon that. And that's what they're starting to learn. And obviously some of our leaders in Mexico and other markets that have been around a little bit longer, or the Albrechtsons who recently hit A12 in September, that was awesome. They get it. But sometimes it takes new people a little while to figure that out. And once they do, they're like, whoa, this is we're all in this together. Let's support and lift each other.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. It's great to see this growth. And I want to echo what you just said. Congratulations to Trish and to Eric Albrechtson for hitting the rank of A12. A12 is a huge rank. It's a very, very important rank. It's certainly not the highest. It's not the end of the journey, but it is a great rank to hit. So in the month of September, we had them hit that very important rank of A12. I want to talk a little bit about October, because now we're in October. A couple of weeks ago, we called. We spent a day or half a day on Zooms, really congratulating and getting to know and listening to all these new rank advancements from September amongst that group were the Albrechtsons, certainly with their new rank of A12. And that was a lot of fun. But let's talk about October, because October is one of my favorite months of the year. I love candy. I've got a sweet tooth and I love Halloween. I'm exaggerating a bit. I do have 4 young children, though, and so I eat more than my share of candy this month. And I've been saving myself till the end of the month for that to happen. But that's not why I love October. October, I love the colors that are changing, as you pointed out. But this October, this is the last month, ladies and gentlemen, to qualify for Costa Rica. This is a very special month. So I would encourage all of you to go into your back offices, right? Log in, look at the dashboard, look at how many points you have. And if you still want to go, if you still want to join us in Costa Rica this coming year, we're going to be going in March. In March of this coming year. We would love to have you. And many of you have already qualified, and a larger number are really close to qualifying. But but do something that we talk about from time to time here. We talk about reverse engineering the goal. So if you need 70 points or 50 points or 20 points or 30 points, or whatever the number of points is for you to reach that 150 point requirement, look at how many days you have left in the month, divide that into the weeks, divide that into days, and know what you've got to do each day. Create a plan. I don't think that, Hail Mary passes into the end zone is a good strategy for winning football games. And I don't think it's a great strategy for rank advancing or for qualifying for a trip like Costa Rica. Put together a good, well thought out, cogent plan. And it might be daunting. It might be really stout, but at least you can look at it when you start to visualize it. Well, that's the first step in achieving that goal. It's not too late. You guys can still qualify, right? There's still a chance. And, I am someone who my whole life, I've been a big believer in miracles. And it's not a miracle to qualify for an incentive, but sometimes reaching a goal, especially with 2 weeks remaining, can feel very daunting, right? And you say to yourself, or we say to ourselves, boy, it will take a miracle. Well, guys, believe in miracles, because especially in this industry, right? You can't control what other people do. And you never know when someone's going to step up and say, you know what, I've got an uncle, I've got a brother-in-law, I've got a neighbor, I know this person, I know these people. And they start introducing them to ACTIVZ. You never know when a runner might show up. I have seen some miraculous things happen just during the last 6 months of our business. I mean, I've seen them happen since we launched, but I'll just talk about the last 6 months. These miraculous things are people like I just referenced, someone's brother-in-law, someone's niece joined and starts to use the product. She happened to be a doctor. She started to recommend it to her patients. She joined. Who else joined? Her cousin, and then another cousin. And these people, these two cousins, they went from rank 0 to A11, then A12, and they did it in 6 months' time, right? So when I talk about miraculous things happening, right, in our business, I'm talking about real growth. You never know. So don't throw the towel in. It's not over. And in the 2 weeks remaining, do everything you can, because I would love to be in Costa Rica with you, with all of you. I know David would love to be in Costa Rica. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Costa Rica with all of you. I got to sometimes think, we are going to Costa Rica. Yeah, I'm saying it right. Costa Rica with all of you. And so let's go hard. To help you do that, obviously, all of you, if you don't know about it, we do weekly raffles. For every 2 enrollments with a 200 PV business pack, you're going to enter a raffle. We're talking about how exciting that is, because we're looking at enrollments on a weekly basis. So guys, it's time to get off the bench and get into the game. October is going to be an incredible month. I want to share a thought also, not specifically related to October, but specifically related to our business, to ACTIVZ. David, you and I talk about this stuff a lot. We talk about it with the team, but sometimes we have so many things going on that we ask ourselves, what do I focus on? What's the focus here? Is it epigenetics? Is it epigenetic science? Is it the trifecta? Is it this scientific platform or foundation that we've built the company upon? Do I focus on that? Is it omni-channel? Is it how we're distributing our products that make us so unique and novel, right? Where we give our distributors a chip in the big game, right? By virtue of earning in the global bonus pool. Is it that we should focus on? Is it this incentive trip, Costa Rica? Should we all be focused on that? Is it this anniversary event going on in Mexico in November? Should we be focused on that? Is it the newest product that we just launched, Aero? Should I be focused on? And there's a lot of things. There's promotions. Should I be focused on this monthly promotion? And sometimes there's just a lot of stuff. And then sometimes we say, well, let's focus on the comp plans, focus on the success guide. Guys, I don't mean to scare you, and you're all starting to plug your ears right now, just hearing me say all those things. We do all of these things. We have all of these activities and promotions and events and things to talk about for one purpose, for just one end, right? This is the good news. While there might be a lot of things to think about and focus on, why do we do it? Well, yeah, we want to improve health and wellness for the world, right? This is why we've launched ACTIVZ. We believe in activating our potentials, specifically at the genetic level. That's first and foremost. Secondly, we want to activate our life, our potential, right? And to do that, we believe very much in freedom, right? And empowering people to live their very best life, become the best version of themselves. And in a business like this, when you grow your income residually, guess what? You can do that. And for many people, for the first time in their life, they have time and the financial wherewithal to say, you know what? I'm now going to focus on me. I'm going to focus on what I was meant to do in this life. So that's what the end is. Let me share with you one thing you can do to get there sooner. One thing that you can do to reach that ultimate goal sooner. It's not qualifying for Costa Rica. Well, Costa Rica will help maybe keep you excited, right? It'll give you a short-term goal to run towards. But it's not Costa Rica. It's not the promotion. It's none of this stuff. It is a tip. Learn how to maximize all the advantages that we give you in the comp plan, the compensation plan. What I mean by that, there's a few things that, if done right, will make a big difference for you and for your family in the near future and the long-term future. And there's a lot of things I could actually talk about, but I wanted to today talk to you all about what makes our comp plan different. And there are a few things, right? We have a real focus on building the middle class of our business, right? Knowing that in doing that, we will retain more people. The higher levels will earn more for a longer period of time. We're not interested in someone earning a big check and then it going away, right? A month later, 2 months later. That's not network marketing done right. Those are companies and people that haven't really cut their teeth properly in this industry. We're interested in you earning walk away long-term residual income. So to do that, one of the things that differentiates our comp plan from other plans, and it does it in a big way, are our 4 business centers. We have 4 business centers. So what that is those are 4 separate streams of income that a distributor can earn. David, you and I were talking about this minutes prior to this call today. In the month of September, we had an A12, just someone that I was just talking to. His name is Danny. He lives in northern Mexico. And he has an A12 rank, and he just got an A in his second business center, just hit A7. And I know that a month or 2 ago, out of Sacramento, California, Elk Grove, California, Claudia Valdez, who's a rank A11, she just had her second business center hit A8. Now, why am I sharing this? Why does that matter? It's because when you understand what the average income for these ranks are, the light bulb's going to go off. If you have one rank that pays you, let's say, an average of $8,000 a month as an A11, or an average of $10,500 as an A12, and now you have another business center, another distributor position who has an average monthly payout of, if it's an A8, we're talking $1,500 to $2,000 additional per month now that you're receiving. That's not calculated as part of your first distributorship's income, right? It's separate, it's different. It's like having 2 different distributorships, completely different, with 2 different people, right? You and your aunt, you and your brother, you and your best friend, you and your cousin, whatever. But they're both you. They're both you. So when you talk about wealth building and walkaway income, and when I talk about maximizing some of these aspects of our comp plan, this is what I'm referring to. Because you could build one position and build it well and get to an A16, and you'd be earning on that position. And that would be fantastic, right? That would eventually be walkaway income. But what if you had a second position and a third position, a fourth position that allowed you to do that? Well, you'd be able to walk away that much faster. I'm going to share my screen here quickly, David, and I hope that I'm on the right. I'm going to be on the right screen here. I think I will be. I want you all to look at the screen quickly here. All right, here we go. So let me see if I can do this. So for all of you who are new to ACTIVZ, I'm sorry, I've just jumped into the deep end of the comp plan, but this is what it looks like. You have one business center, right? You need a minimum of 4 legs to rank advance to get to the highest rank, right? That's just one of the features of our comp plan. But what you're looking at right now is a key differentiator between our compensation plan, our revenue share program that we offer in ACTIVZ, and any other rev share program or comp plan that exists in the direct selling space. There's no other company that has or that offers you what you're looking at right now. So, I'll use an example. This is David Brown. David Brown's building a business. That first position would be David Brown 1. Then he has David Brown 2, David Brown 3, and David Brown 4. David Brown would be receiving, because there's really only just one of him. And thank you and thank goodness for that. I'm kidding. But he'd be getting 4 separate checks. Now, those ranks might all be A16. They might be A12s. They might be an A12, an A8, an A7, and an A5. But you take that income, add it up, and that's what your total monthly income is. So the reason why I'm sharing this is a month where we've got a lot of things going on. We've got promotions going on. We have, the last month to qualify for Costa Rica. But while we do these things, while we run for these promotions and these incentive trips, don't forget, and I know you don't, why we're really actually here, right? We want you to obtain your wildest dreams, right? Financial independence, time freedom. This is the promise of ACTIVZ. This is the promise of the direct selling industry. So don't leave money on the table when you could otherwise be taking that and putting it in your bank account. And the best way to not leave it on the table is to understand how to maximize these 4 business centers. And when you do that, we'll be cheering for you, and we will see you at the top. So David, that's what I thought I'd share today. I hope and again, if you have questions about that, if you're new, talk to your upline, talk to the person who invited you to ACTIVZ, and they can share more about that with you. We also published a few months ago a comp plan video that's in the back office. You can watch it, and you can also just watch the section that talks about these business centers. So David, what are you excited about this month? And by the way, congratulations on your 4 business centers.
Thank you. I'd like to say that I'm the only David Brown, but unfortunately, there are a lot of David Browns out there. Fortunately, this is the only one at ACTIVZ so far, but we'll welcome everybody here. But it reminds me, as you're talking about massive action for Costa Rica, 2 weeks left, and you take that massive action and you shoot for the stars. And maybe you don't hit the stars, but you hit the moon because you did such massive action. You're going to benefit. You're going to benefit by being able to take advantage of the raffles. You're being the extra money coming from the new bonuses that we've recently put into place, and your overall organization is going to be stronger. And so there's absolutely no downside to running as hard as you can, as quickly as you can, and doing those things. Now, one thing also came to mind as you were talking, Ryan, in terms of all the things that people could talk about, the comp plan, the products, this. I've always found that when it comes to me, the thing I feel most genuinely about, or strongest about, is what I lead with, because most people that I interact with are kind of like me. And so I know if I get excited, if they hear me getting excited about something that I didn't have to memorize, or I didn't have to try and remember the details of, but man, this is what got me excited about ACTIVZ, and share that, then the door is open to crack. And after that, I can follow up with additional information that may not be what initially got me most excited. Maybe what got me most excited was I know there's some distributors who are so excited about what you just mentioned, the 4 business centers, and they're able to provide for their families, that while the products weren't immaterial, they took second place behind what really got them excited. That was the opportunity to build a business, and so they led with it, and they should. That's what gets them excited, and I think that's just great advice. And I look forward to seeing and hearing more about these stories. That's the best part to me, actually, is hearing all these stories and seeing the progress and seeing the things. And you've seen the transformation, Ryan, that occurs when people accomplish something that, frankly, they may have hoped for, but they weren't really sure is going to happen. Then when it does, the way that their confidence increases. You know, I'm not really a big believer in telling little Johnny or little Susie, oh, you know, 2 + 2 is 4 for most people, but it's okay if it's 5 for you. You know, you just can't give people, you know, you can't give them self-confidence. Self-confidence and confidence, it comes through achievement, and achieving something, however small, within what you do, little by little, step by step, man, that confidence that gets under your belt, and you're able to do more, and you just feel like you're able to ultimately conquer whatever the world throws at you. Give me your worst and I'll give you my best. And I think that's what we're really seeing in a lot of people. That's what's exciting as we head into October, seeing people look at the list. You know, the list is available as to where you sit in terms of incentive qualification. And some of you are probably closer than you realize. So check that out. And run, follow this advice. This is good. I mean, it's really interesting. You talk about the compounding effect, right? You know, these business centers and taking advantage of them is kind of like, you know, maybe you started out taking Link, got good benefits from that, but guess what? You're ignoring the fact that you could also get benefits from OptiMed. So you take that, and you could get benefits from genomics, and you took that. And so by doing all of these things, you're creating more health internally, and that's really what the business centers are all about. I really like the way that you presented that in easy to understand fashion. So so that's what I'm excited about.
All right.
Enjoy October and kick it off and keep going strong.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks, David. I think this is we've given everybody sufficient for this month's Founders Call. Guys, if you can't tell, David and I are very excited. We're excited to be here. We're excited to be here with all of you. There are a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things to talk about. But David, I like what you just said, and this is a really important rule of thumb. In fact, I teach this when I do boot camps and trainings. People ask us all the time, what should I talk about? What should I lead with? What videos should I send people? The answer is always the same. Well, what's your favorite? What do you like? What gets your jets cranking? What turns your oil black? And only talk about that, because if you talk about something that you're not really into, you know, if you try to talk about the comp plan and you're not really that into it, but you're really into epigenetics, well, by all means, talk about epigenetics. Talk about that, because getting other people interested, right, and getting the gears turning is a transference of belief. It's just about transferring belief. That's all it ever is. You can't transfer belief about something that you're not that into, or maybe you're being disingenuous, right? So the right answer when people say, should I lead with product? Should I lead with business? What's the answer? And people have these huge debates, but what they don't realize is they're debating preferences, right? They're very subjective preferences, which there is no right answer. The right answer is whatever you're passionate about, that's your right answer. And so thanks for bringing that up, David. That was a really important point, and important for people to hear. So guys, all that said, let's swing big here in the last 2 weeks. Let's hit it out of the park. Dig deep, believe in miracles, believe in great things. I think a lot of you can qualify for Costa Rica, and maybe you may not even be sure. You might be doubting yourself, but we know that you can do it. We know that incredible things happen. Pick up the phone, start calling people, follow up with the people who told you no. Follow up, share what you're passionate about, right? Share the latest article that's come out. Whatever you think is exciting, give people the opportunity. Don't decide for them. That's another important point, is sometimes we decide for other people, say they're not interested. They said they're not interested. Or I talked to my brother-in-law and he said that this was a pyramid scheme, or he said this or that. Well, you know what? Give them a second chance, a third chance. Give them at least 7 chances. 7's a magic number when it comes to follow-up. And we'll talk more about that on a later date. But guys, follow up, right? Dig deep, like David said. Let's take all-out massive action. It's the only way that we're going to reach the masses with this message of epigenetics and freedom. And so I want to close my thoughts with a quote that I think is appropriate. And it has to do with our attitude, right? And kind of how we approach challenges, how we approach opportunities. And it's a quote from John Maxwell. It's been said by other people in different ways, but it's great. I really like this, and I've thought a lot about this over the years. But he says that the pessimist complains about the wind, the optimist expects it to change, the leader adjusts the sails. So, right, let's not be pessimists. We can be optimists, but let's actually be leaders, right? Let's have a tactical plan on how to take advantage of a changing marketplace. And right now in Sacramento, California, where I live, it's incredibly windy. So I've got adjusting of sails on my mind. But guys, my challenge for you is adjust your sails. If something isn't working the way you think it should, try something different. Try something different and constantly evolve, adapt, and innovate to get until you get the result that you want. So guys, best of luck of success, luck and success this month of October. We'll see you all next month in November. And David, what final words do you have?
Well, we started out talking about how the ACTIVZ tent is being stretched into new areas as stakes for those tents are being put down in new parts of not only the United States, but around the world. As we soon talk about, Bolivia, Dominican Republic, Peru, Colombia, all these, and of course in Mexico and new spots going there. But on top of what you were just saying, as you're doubting yourself, remember that the belief tent that Ryan and I have for you is huge. So if you're doubting yourself, get under our belief tent. We've seen a lot. Part of getting older is that, hey, you have a lot of experience. And I can tell you that every single person listening to this, watching it tonight, has every single capability, talent, intelligence level necessary to achieve and reach their goals. And we're not just saying that, we believe it. If you don't believe it yet, get under our belief tent and take a ride along with it. So that's what I'm talking. The belief train is leaving the station.
All right. I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Thanks, David. Have a great night. Have a great rest of the month of October. If we can do anything to help you, please reach out, and we will see you all very soon. We'll see you next November. And as always, we'll see you at the top. Thanks, David. Take care, everybody.